Hello YouTubers, and today I'm finally going to be reviewing the third Doctor from the monster Peladon. This has finally reached a B&M near me. Unfortunately, a lot of B&Ms have had them delayed. If you'd like to hear more about this, I did actually do a video explaining one of the reasons why. But anyway, taking a look at the box, it's the same packaging as ever. We've got a write-up from the monster Peladon, so you can pause to read this in your own time. What I think of this packaging? Well, I think it's... I don't hate it. Hate it. I just think it's probably the most bland and boring Doctor Who packaging, at least the outer side is. But we'll get onto the inside in a minute. Speaking of which, let's crack it open. Okay, so if we quickly take a look at the inner, you can see we've got the caves inside of Peladon, which is really nice. And, oh, we've got some maggots and the mutant kind. Yeah, interesting. Apologies for the way this is being filmed, basically because the weather outside is basically pitch black. It's not being good weather today, and I'm not filming on my normal camera. But anyway, let's take a look at the figures. Okay, so here we have the Tardis and the third Doctor. I'll briefly go over the third Doctor since there's not an awful lot to say about him. So, his hair has gone back to being a little bit more blonde like previous releases. Not as blonde as it looks on this camera. This is just the lighting, unfortunately. But the jacket is a sort of... you know what? I'm going to see what type of green is. A sort of almost wine gum green. There we go. To sort of represent the darker green velvet jackets that he wore. Only in Monster Peladon, actually, I believe. Yeah, just go one off. You can see also there they've painted the ends of the frills green on the end of his shirt, like it was in the episode. So, well done to character for detail there. The trousers aren't quite actually black. They're actually a very, very, very dark brown. They do look a lighter brown on camera, but they are darker brown. And the shoes are just black as ever. But other than that, it is a nice variant to get of John Pertwee. And yeah, it just crosses one off the list. Taking a look at the TARDIS, well, let's do a comparison to the fourth Doctor box. I would have also brought in the other third Doctor TARDIS. Unfortunately, that's at home, but this is essentially the same sort of shade of blue as that. Maybe a bit of a brighter blue, less of a powdery colour. And this one, to be honest, this one feels the best out of all of them. Actually, just picking this up. This one, not so much. This one does feel, I don't know, something about it just makes it feel more solid. And that might be the fact is that this one is screwed together. This one is just purely screwed together, essentially. So this one is not that difficult to take apart. However, the fifth Doctor TARDIS and the Sharda TARDIS, and now this one, these are all glued together, as well as being screwed together. Now, the advantage is, it does make them feel more solid. They don't, you know, they don't squeeze as much, so they don't creak because they just feel a bit more solid. The disadvantage is that you can't really put the electronics in them anymore. Basically, these things, if anyone does figure out how to take these apart without damaging them, please let me know. Because that would be the only reason, really, I would buy a Jodie Whittaker TARDIS is for the electronics, if it goes on sale. But other than that, you can see that essentially this is kind of a mishmash. The signage is slightly different. You know, it is obviously inverted, just like on this one, except this one, the text was more of a very, very, very dark grey, whereas this one, it is just a solid black, as you can see. The lantern is now blue, rather than being black. Was it blue? Wait, it was blue on the original Pertwee. And finally, we do have a blue Pertwee box with a blue base. Now, obviously, this isn't accurate to the Prosky. I can't pronounce his name, prop. There we go. So, unfortunately, you know, it is what it is, but it is what we have come to expect. I would like it, though, someday, if they do new roofs, maybe with later sex this year, perhaps. It would just be nice, you know, because you could make it so much accurate if you did actually get rid of this section here. But anyway, we've got the police public call box, everything. Also, this one doesn't have what people call that waxy feel at all. Actually, this one doesn't. And it might just be this one because I also, while I was getting this one, I picked up a one for my brother. And his one does have more of the weathering on. And his one might be the more waxy feeling because of the wash. This one, though, there's not that much of a wash. And as a result, it doesn't feel as waxy or as cheap as previous releases. It does feel pretty nice. The doors obviously just open as usual, open as standard, so nothing really different there. But other than that, there's not a lot I can say about this box. It's essentially a mishmash between the 4th Doctor robot TARDIS and the original Pertwee TARDIS. However, I'm going to say, out of all of the 3rd and 4th Doctor TARDISes that are being released, this is probably my favourite one of those, the squat boxes, I'm going to call them. Yeah, this is probably my favourite out of the squat boxes, just because I do like the lighter colour. I do like a lighter TARDIS, and this is a really nice one. And if you did miss out on the original release of the 3rd Doctor and TARDIS, well, I'd say this one is actually better. This one is better. It does feel, you know, more solidly put together generally, which is a disadvantage because you can't take it apart and as easily anymore. But it does feel more sturdy. It doesn't have it doesn't feel as cheap in the hand, even though it is made of the same plastic as all of the others. Yeah, it just doesn't feel as cheap. And the figure, yeah, is a nice figure actually. So, in conclusion, I'm gonna say yes, obviously, definitely pick this one up. I highly do recommend it, and if you can find it, you know, being all I can say is, cool your shits, don't panic, don't do your best headless chicken act. You know, it was weird because the smaller B&M in my area actually got this in before the bigger one. The bigger one is actually due them tomorrow. So yeah, but you know, just calm yourself. You know, if you live in the UK, just ring up B&M in advance and ask them, do you have any in? And also get the product code off the Doctor Who merchandise page, search for that, etc. So yeah, but I can see people easily skipping this one if you did get the original 3rd Doctor TARDIS, because there's not a lot new here, to be honest. If you've got the original release, then the figure's probably the highlight for you. If you didn't get the original release, then obviously the TARDIS is the highlight for you. And if you're like me, who buys everything anyway, you don't need me to see anything. You've probably already gone out and got this. So, yeah, that's it for this review, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.